So our runoff pond is a bit high. We have all this snow on the ground. Let me insert a picture in there of a couple of days ago, or some video. I think I might have some video. As you can see, it's very snowy. And this did not come down all at once. This has been a few storm systems that have just piled up. You can see how much it's piled up on that table there. What, a couple feet? And because it's very warm today and rainy, we have some flooding going on. Wow, look at that. Well, hello y'all, how you doing? That was an unexpected little treat for me when I walked out here this morning. I came out here because tonight is the night that I'm going to turn on my heaters in my greenhouse. It has a tendency at the coldest points to stay about 30 degrees above the outside temperature. I tested it a couple of weeks ago on one of our coldest nights. So here's some of that footage. Our highs today are in the teens, like that's as high as it's going to get. Something like 12 or 13, I think when I checked. It was 10 out, that's Fahrenheit. And tonight it's supposed to be like -11 or -12. So I decided to come here in my greenhouse and basically turn on my heaters and test what temperature I'm able to hold this at. So that way, for the upcoming year, I just have a good basis on how cold it's going to get in here. But by doing this heat test now, this is the coldest it's going to be all year. If I'm able to get it heated up and maintain a decent temperature when it's this cold out, then I know I'm fine for the rest of the season. I always like to do a heat test every year just to see how well it's going to hold heat, make sure that nothing's changed, and then I usually go from there. I have this little oil heater that I have plugged in, and I put it on a thermostat, and I'm getting ready to go plug in that thermostat. And what it does is I can set the low end to where, say if my greenhouse gets down to about 40 degrees, for instance, then it'll kick on. And if I put the upper end to say 70, then once it hits 70, it'll turn my heater off. And I've shown this before, but you just plug the cord for your heater into here, and you can't see it, the sun's hitting it, but there's a little, you can set the high temperature and the low temperature and it tells your heater when to kick on and off. I don't think you can see that any bit better, but I have it set to come on at 53 and to turn off at 70. It is currently 39.9. Just wanted to come out here and get an update. It's been a couple hours, and we are up to 48 degrees Fahrenheit, 9 degrees Celsius. Alright, let's see how this thing holds up overnight when it gets into the negatives out there. You can see that it says 4 degrees in Buchanan right now, so I'm going to open my app and we'll check and see how my greenhouse heat is holding up in this extreme weather. Alright, it's updating. As you can see, my app is saying that it is 38 or 36.7 degrees Fahrenheit in my greenhouse right now. So it's saying it is now -5 in Buchanan. So let's pull up the app and see what my greenhouse is holding at. 29.5, so that is below freezing. It looks like it's saying about 35 degrees above the outside temperature. The whole point of doing that test was to see how warm it would keep it in here on those cold nights, and it kept it on average, regardless of how cold it got, about 30 degrees warmer than it was without the heater. So I've looked at our extended forecast, and we're not supposed to get down that cold again. Usually we don't. It's unlikely that we would. And I'm going by our forecast and just years past, so I've got a few things that are cold weather things under lights right now, and I'd like to move them out here because I need to start my peppers. I have some old pepper seed and they're a little bit slower to germinate, and so I want to go ahead and start them because I know it's going to take them longer to come up, and hot peppers kind of grow slow anyways, but to do that I need to get some of those cool things out here. So I'm just coming in here to turn on my greenhouse. It will probably honestly be tomorrow or the next day before I'm able to use it. I'm going to turn it on, let it get heated up, and let this soil that I have out here get defrosted because it's still frozen from whenever there was a ton of snow on the ground. I'll come back out here and show you what plants I bring out whenever this thing gets heated up and I'm bringing my plants out here. So I'll see you in a few minutes. So I came out here to finish up this last little part of this video, and it's about 63 degrees outside, and right now it is currently 88 in my greenhouse. It was 94, but I just opened the doors. I just wanted to show you how big of a difference the temperature can be outside than inside. Okay, I've got my first round of plants out here and I'm going to show you those real quick. And keep in mind, this isn't pretty. This is a working greenhouse. It's not really as much for aesthetics. I would love for it to be beautiful, and it is to me, especially when it's filled with plants. But there's going to be stuff everywhere because I use that stuff while I'm out here. With that being said, let's look at the plants I have in here. First thing that I have is this succulent tray. I dug some of these up and brought them in, and just in case they didn't come back from the winter. This is some asparagus I started from seed, and it's a little curly because when I had it under the lights in there, it was kind of in the middle of where the lights are, so it was reaching for the lights. I have a couple of the early tomatoes I wanted to start. This is a tray of onions, and these are the Elsa Craig onions, and also have some volunteers in there. Another sedum that I dug up. This is some eucalyptus I started from seed. It doesn't look like everything's come up. This eucalyptus here looks better. And then I've got some trays where literally nothing has come up yet. These are some onion seeds, which are notoriously short-lived, so I don't know if they're going to come up. I may try to reseed those because those seeds were from last year, so they shouldn't be bad yet, but they could be. I also have these hops plant, and the reason I put them over here is because they're reaching out trying to grab everything, and I don't want them to wrap around my other plants, so they're not in the trays. I also decided to bring my citrus out here. I've got this, what I think is a blood orange tree. That's what I was told it was. I've never actually seen fruit from it. Then I have this variegated pink lemonade tree. It's one of the last plants my mom bought for me before she died. And then I have this lime tree I got from Walmart. And it is defoliated, but that happened before I even took it in. So it's actually starting to grow its leaves back. And as you can see, there's some little buds on there that I don't think will amount to anything really. I have these plants that are in pots, so they're perennials, and I brought them in for extra protection. I do water them periodically, but the dead you're seeing is last year's growth that I just need to cut back. See, it's got new growth coming up already. I eventually need to cut that growth back and refresh them for the year. Thank you guys for making it this far. I appreciate you hanging out with me while I get these springtime chores done. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye.